Hi everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to show you how to create this fabulous and super sparkly Christmas project using our gorgeous Christmas Magnolia stamp. We're going to be using the Snowflake circles die and the sparkling snowflake circles along with our gorgeous Crackle paper pad as well. So I really hope that you enjoy creating this project with me today. All of the materials that I'm using are listed in the description below and available to buy from chloescreativecards.co.uk. Okay, I'm going to move the card out of the way and just show you the stamp and die set that we're going to be using today. So this is the Christmas Magnolia and it is a huge stamp and die set. You've got an A5 stamp plate in here and the coordinating dies. We're actually only going to be using a couple of the stamps from the stamp set. So I've picked the medium size of the 5-petal flower and the smallest size of the 3-petal flower. And we're also going to be using the stamen die as well to create the centres. Now this is a stamp and die set, but I have to be honest, when I made this project, I actually stamped and glittered all of my flowers and then realised I couldn't put them through the die cutting machine after I've glittered them. So I have hand cut mine, but you do have the dies in the set if you want to use them in that way too. So let's dive on in. I'm going to start off with a piece of crystal white pearl paper. You could use crystal white, quartz or opal for this project. It doesn't really matter because we are going to absolutely cover it in glitter. So any of our beautiful crystal pearl papers work brilliantly for creating your 3D flowers. So I'm going to start off by taking the medium size 5-petal flower and we're going to stamp that twice. So we're going to stamp it using our Wow Clear Embossing ink pad, which is this one here. So it's a brilliant sticky ink pad that is perfect for holding all of your embossing powder. So we're going to stamp that down once, like so, and we're going to do it twice. So re-ink our stamp, and we're going to position that down and press and lift off, and then we're going to cover those with the Wow Metallic Gold Rich Superfine embossing powder. So this is just a plain gold embossing powder. It's going to go straight back into the jar, and then we're going to take our piece of paper in and we're going to stamp one of the little 3-petal flower. So I'm just inking up my stamp. I'm going to place that down and press, and then sprinkle my powder over the top. Okay, then we're going to heat these up. So we're going to just use our heat gun. We're going to hold that heat gun still. As soon as you see that embossing powder start to melt and change, we're just going to move the heat gun over the image like so. There we go. Okay, so you are going to need to do 8 of the 5-petal flower and 4 of the 3-petal flower for this project. I then always like to have a little rough cut out. Okay, you would die cut at this point if you want them to die cut. So you die cut them out, or if you, like I have, want to cut them out with scissors, you can do. So I'm then going to take my Art Glitter Dries clear glue and we're going to go in and just infill the petals. So I'm kind of trying to avoid the little gold lines in the middle, but I'm not too worried about the ones at the top. So I'm literally just flooding the area with my PVA glue. Like so. So just going to work around and infill each and every one of the petals. Like so. I'm going to do exactly the same with this one here. So you literally are just flooding that area with glue. There we go. So on your 5 petal flowers, you are going to use the Salted Caramel Sparkalicious Glitter, which is a beautiful, rich gold colour. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side. So you do that on both of your 5 petal flowers, but you can see how when you kind of infill that area, how lovely and sparkly that then looks. It's absolutely stunning. So that is your Salted Caramel glitter that we're going to use on that one. And then for the little 3 petal one that's going to sit in the middle, we are going to use the Dulce de Leche glitter. And this is gorgeous. It's a very fine glitter. It's a lovely golden colour though. But it does have like a holographic twinkle to it, which is really, really pretty. So we're just going to go in and again infill with the PVA glue like so. So the same technique, and I always recommend holding your glue like you would hold a pen. You'll find it so much easier to control. There we go. And then we're going to take the Dulce de Leche glitter, sprinkle that over the top and tap away the excess. And you can see how pretty that then looks. Okay, so I've got some over here that have already dried, like so, and I've cut those out. I've cut mine out with scissors. If you cut them out with the die, you will have a little border around the edge. So what I'm then going to do is take these and pinch down the centre, like so, with my finger and thumb. So you're just going to pinch down the middle of these petals. Okay, and then we're going to pop a blob of glue into the middle, twist them round and stick them down together like so. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to take the little 3 petal one. I'm just going to roll the petal between my thumb and my index finger like so. So you just add that little bit of curl to the petal. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a foam pad and I'm just going to stick this on the back of the flower like so. And then that's going to go into there. So then you can see how that then builds up to be a beautiful 3D flower. So I've got 4 of those. So I've already done the other 3. Okay, like so. Really, really pretty, nice and 3D. Then I've taken the little stamen die that you get in the Christmas Magnolia set, and I've die cut it out of some quartz pearl cards. So it's that lovely like ivory colour. And we're going to pop one of these in the middle of each of the flowers. Now before we do, I'm going to whiz along, pop a little dot of glue in the centre of each, and take one of our gorgeous AB bling stones from our bling box and just pop that into the middle of each one like so. There we go. Then you can see how pretty that then looks. Okay, so what we're then going to do is take the little stamens, just pull them up towards you like this. Okay, and then we're going to put a little dot of glue into the centre. And stick that down. just in the middle there, like so. Okay, and we're going to do that with each of these. So again, give them a little press down, and then just going to work your way around, pulling the little stamens up and squish it in the middle. Just add a little dot of glue into the centre and stick down. I'm going to do that on all of the flowers, like so. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit of Diamante Sparkle glitter, and these are quite form, these flowers, very, very glitzy. So if you like all of your glitter and sparkle, these are perfect for you. You can then take a little bit of that Diamante Sparkle glitter, sprinkle it over the top and tap away the excess, just to add a little bit of sparkle to the ends of these stamens, like so, and then sprinkle that over, tap away the excess. So we're going to do that on all of these. It's just falling off there. We don't worry about that though, we'll just stick it straight back on. And sprinkle that over and tap away the excess like so. So that there would be your beautiful completed Christmas magnolias. So I'm going to lift those over to one side for now while we work on the base card. So I've got my mats and layers and bits and pieces all ready to go here. So we're going to start off with an 8x8 card blank, and I've got a beautiful piece of our Crackle foil paper. I love this paper pad so much, I use it all the time. So a little bit of Crackle glue just onto the back of there, and that's then going to get stuck down onto our base card like so. Then got a piece of opal pearl card that I've cut down. So my first layer was 7 3/4 inches. This layer is 7 1/4 inches all the way around. And then I'm going to take my Crystallina glitter, my lovely chisel tip glue pen. Just going to drag that glue towards yourself and then cover it with your Crystallina glitter, like so. Okay, then we're going to flip that over and we're going to put some foam pads onto the back of here. So just going to stick these down onto our base card. So, and we'll just whip the backs off these. Like so, and then that's going to get stuck down onto our base card. There we go. And then we've got another piece of that gorgeous Crackle paper, and I'm just going to stick that on flat. Of course, you could have gutted that from the centre of the base layer. So this one's being cut down to 6 3/4 inches square. Okay. Then I've got a piece of quartz pearl card that I've cut down to 6 1/4 inches square, and we're going to emboss this with the Sparkling Snowflake stencil. So to do that, we're going to take our Gemini machine and we're going to use our base plate, plastic shim, the stencil with the card on the top, our rubber mat on top of there, and then our cutting plate on the top, and we're going to run that through. When we run that through and lift this off, you will see we've got this beautiful embossed pattern onto the pearl card, which is just stunning. And that's what stencils are so good for, because you can use them in so many different ways. Makes a beautiful embossed pattern onto your cardstock. So then I'm going to take my chisel tip glue pen again, and I'm going to just run it along the edges like so. There we go. And then what we're going to do after that is put some foam pads onto the back of here. Again, just carefully peel those backs off. Like so. The rest can then go into the rubbish, and then I'm going to grab back in our base card and stick this down onto here. Okay, what I've then done is taken one of the dies from our 8x8 Snowflake circle set, and I've stuck that down onto a piece of opal pearl card. So we're going to run that through the Gemini to die cut this one out. So again, I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim, the die with my card and my cutting plate on the top, and then running that through. So, and then when we pop that out, we've got the most beautiful little frame ready to go onto our card. Okay, then I've taken the next frame in, and I've also taken the sparkle sentiment from the Sparkle Sentiment Builder collection. So I've taken the sparkle part and the other part that's just like the outline. Pop those on, and I'm going to run those through too. Grab these at the other side. These are cut out beautifully. So we've got that circle there. We've got the little sparkle too. And then we've got the little sparkle sentiment. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start and go to these elements up a little bit now. Let me grab in some scrap paper. I tend to use my little envelopes as scrap paper because I put my cards in boxes when I send them. So I always end up with a load of envelopes. Push those little bits out of the sparkle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece that's got the little stars around the edge, and I'm going to take my chisel tip glue pen, and what I'm going to do is just drag all the way around, colouring in. so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take another bit of scrap paper, because I don't want to pop it on the bit where we've got all the glue. Just sprinkle this with that gorgeous Dulce de Lac glitter. So then if I hold that up, you can see how we've got that little bit of glitter just on the edges there. And I'm also going to take the sparkle part of the sentiment. Okay, and I'm going to colour the whole thing with my chisel tip glue pen. So all I'm going to do is just scribble over with my chisel tip pen. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take my glitter, sprinkle that over the top, and then I'm going to pop this back into the jar, like so. Okay, and then we're going to take the little plane and circle, if it's got like the little pierced edge, I'm going to edge around this one, but just pop a little bit of Crystallina onto here. So again, we're going to just drag our glue pen all the way around the edge. So, start to dunk that in. There we go. So then we've got a lovely little glittery border on there. So we're going to get these stuck onto our card blank now. So again, a few foam pads on the back of this piece. Going to go onto there, and the next one on the top. Again, just a few foam pads all over the back, like so. Take the backs off of those. I'm going to go onto there. I'm going to pop a couple of foam pads onto the back of our little sparkle sentiment. So that'll then go about there. We're going to take our little sparkle that we glittered up, and we're going to add just a little bit of glue on the back of there. So I've got my sparkle ready to go. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to, actually I'm not, I'm going to stick my little magnolias on first. I'm going to take some of our little self-adhesive sparkles as well. These are gorgeous. These are like our little self-adhesive jewels, but they are seriously sparkly. Once you see these in real life, you'll be like, oh my word, they are so nice. So I'm going to pop 3 there. Then I'm going to pop 3 in the top corner here. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take a little bit of pin flare glue gel. We're going to take the gorgeous magnolias and just position these onto the card. Like so. Glitter all over. Okay, that's going to go there. And that's going to go on there. Okay, so it's looking pretty, but it just needs a little bit of finishing off now. So I'm going to lift that to one side, and then I'm going to grab in one of the sentiments, and this is from the Sparkle Sentiment Builder. Okay, so you get this with the sparkle die. So you get loads of different sentiments on here. So you've got 'Tis the Season 2, which is the one we're going to use. This Christmas, Sparkle, Festive, You Were Born Too. So you can kind of build up your own sentiments, which is really, really lovely. So I think this is a piece of just a bit of opal card that I had left over. I'm going to give that a little dust with my anti-static. I'm going to take my clear embossing ink pad. I'm going to ink up my stamp. I'm going to place that down and press. I'm going to lift that off. And then I'm going to take my metallic gold rich super fine embossing powder. Sprinkle that over the top. It's going to go back into the jar. Okay, and then we're going to heat this up. Again, you're just going to hold your heat gun still. As soon as you see that powder start to melt and change, you just need to move the heat gun over the image, like so. Then I'm going to grab my little trimmer in and just trim this down. Get it to a bit more manageable size to start with, and then we can really kind of trim into it. I find this bit challenging getting this last little bit straight, but it's just worthwhile spending a little bit of time just nudging it if needs be. It looks pretty all right to me. So what we'll then do is take a little foam pad just on the back. Going to go there, and a little bit of foam to the other side there. We're going to whip the backs off of that, stick that down onto our card, tuck that in there. Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit of foliage. So the stamp that I'm going to use is from the Christmas Branches stamp and die set, and it's just a lovely Christmas branch. So what I'm going to do is stamp and emboss 2 of these onto heat resistant acetate, and then we're going to chop them down to create the little branches for the foliage. So again, anti-static bag as always when you're working on heat resistant acetate, like so. And I'm going to take my Wow Clear embossing ink pad. Stamp 1 here, lift off, stamp a second one here, and lift off. You do want to be a little bit careful on acetate because it is a little bit slidey, so just keep one hand on your stamp and use your other hand to press. I'm going to sprinkle over your embossing powder. It's going to go there. And then we're just going to heat this up. So to do that, I'm just going to use my heat gun. I'm going to hold my heat gun still. As soon as I see that embossing powder start to melt and change, just going to move my heat gun over the image, like so. Okay. And then we're going to roughly cut this out just with some scissors. This is a stamp and die set, but I would recommend just using scissors when you're working on acetate. A, you don't have to be too neat, and B, quite often your embossing powder can crack when you die cut acetate, and it's just because of the pressure of the machine, and because at the end of the day acetate is a plastic. So what we're then going to do is just work our way around. Like so. I'm going to cut that bit off there. And use that little piece there. Do the same on this one. Okay, then we're going to grab our base card in and we're going to add a little bit of glue gel just in there. Glue gel on there, and we'll tuck that one in there like so. I'm going to do exactly the same with these pieces, and this is such a great way. I've done this for years now, just to build up a little bit of foliage in the background of your project, like so. And then to finish this off, all I would do is take some of our lovely little sequins. So I'm going to pull out the little white holographic ones, and I would literally just take my glue, little dots, background, like so, and then I just take the sequins and literally stick them down like so. And you can kind of put as many or as few on as you would like, but you can see how you can just work your way around adding these gorgeous little sequins into your project. There's a couple. Sometimes you just have to make sure they're not stuck together, but these are lovely because they're like a, oh, actually even those would look quite pretty. They're easy ones, but you can see how you can then just start to add those in, and that would then be your finished project. So I really hope that you've enjoyed creating this project with me today. As always, all of the items that I've used are listed in the description below, and they're all available to shop at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got lots of inspiration on there and loads of ideas. And yeah, have a little look on the website too. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye.